another edition of Brett's Buckeyes. Again, Ohio State started out very slowly in the first half, but pulled it off in the second to win 20-17 over Iowa. Now going into the Big Ten scenario again, there's 3 teams atop the Big Ten Conference. Ohio State, Michigan State, and Wisconsin. Ohio State would win the Big Ten title outright if Michigan State loses and Wisconsin loses. Wisconsin will win the title if just Michigan State loses, due to the October 16th win over Ohio State. Ohio State has no effect whatsoever on that game. Michigan State would win the automatic bid with just an Ohio State loss due to Michigan State beating the Badgers on October 2nd. Now here's the key matchups. It's Ohio State versus Michigan, the biggest college football rivalry. The matchup features 2 candidates of the Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year in Michigan quarterbacks Denard Robinson and of course Ohio State's own Terrell Pryor. The Buckeyes boast a good speed throughout their defense, so it'll be interesting to see if Robinson can break that. Michigan will also need a fast start from offense that has struggled early in all 4 of its losses. That's all I have so far. Till next week after the big Ohio State Michigan. OHIO, I'm Brett, and if you need to email me, Brett at GameDayBattle.com. That's Brett's Buckeyes. Go Bucks.
Welcome to Game Day Battle, where Cleveland sports news meets biased and outspoken opinion. Here with the full Game Day crew and a big OSU Thanksgiving week show. We do it? OH? That's true, that's very true. Well, since you're energetic today, Dale, start with you.
What's up, man? I'm all trestled out.
Yeah,
it's the biggest week of the Buckeye year.
Trestle? Is that what you're going to call you tonight?
Yep.
Just
call me Trestle. I like it.
Dale stands Trevor.
Yep, that's what the T's for.
That is.
Change my name.
All right, we got Fantasy Factory tonight, right?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And now this is it.
Yep, it's crunch time.
Yeah.
You're either in it, or you're not in it, or you're about there. And if that's where you are, I got some news for you guys this week. Free agent pool's kind of dried up, but got some guys who might be able to help you fill in.
Excellent. Looking forward to it.
All right.
Well, Brett, let's do it. Wait, drum roll. Lake Erie Monsters.
There we go. Very nice.
And doing well?
Yeah, we won 3 out of 4 games, and we're right back in 4th place right now, heading on the way up.
Excellent.
We're back home on Friday. $1 dog and $1 Pepsi's post-game skate after the game.
I actually heard that Craig Anderson might be playing a little warm-up game before he goes back to Colorado.
Yeah, he's down in the CHL right now, and he's going to be heading up our way, and then we'll send him back to the NHL.
All right, well, give us the inside scoop when you hear it's coming.
I will.
Awesome.
Well, you know.
DJ Felix, Ramon Torres.
What's going on?
Still rocking out the clubs.
Definitely. Been on great shows around the city. This Friday I'll be at View Night Club. Check me out there. Putting out some good music.
Awesome. And of course, as always, badcatdj.com.
There you go, the website. Follow me on Twitter, /TheRealDJFelix. Follow me, I'll follow back.
We'll follow back. Excellent. Well, there's a lot to get into today. We've got OSU, Michigan, the biggest game of the year always, regardless of how horrible Michigan has been. So we've got that, and the Browns, a little disappointing, sad, big dog whining again. Cavs, a little bit of a slide as well. So plenty to get into. Let's just kick it off. OSU, Michigan.
Bring it on.
All right, we're facing the Wolverines. Not a good Wolverines team, but still the hated, evil Wolverines. They're coming to our house.
I mean, I know that Michigan has not been that great this year, but I'm pretty sure they're working all week long just to burst our bubble and for that 6th straight, Big Ten championship title. That's what's on the line right now, and they're going to try every play, every down, just to make sure we don't get that.
Yeah, and they definitely have a lot of offensive weapons too, but their defense is very porous. I mean, I think they're giving up almost 40 points a game. I think the Buckeyes are going to score. Hopefully they come out shooting in the first half. I know it's been waiting for the second half for them to get a spark, but
yeah.
I think hopefully they're going to come out roaring and ready to go. They got to contain that quarterback, and they shut him down on Michigan, and I think we're going to pull out a victory here. I'm pretty confident in it. I think we've won 6 out of the last 8. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And actually, it's actually more, because this could be the last time that we play to wrap up the year with that new scheduling that they got coming out next year. You know, the game won't have as much value towards the end of the year as it does wrapping it up in the final weeks.
It could mean different things as well, because this could be Michigan trying to knock OSU out of the playoffs,
yeah,
the new playoff system next year. So have you been able to watch Michigan much this year or at all?
Yeah, definitely. But I want to see them come out and shoot in the first half, you know, because when you play these teams like that, you know, they'll jump out to a lead and then you got to play catch up the whole second half, you know. Sort of like when they play these good teams, this happens, and then, you know, they're trying everything to get back. But if they came out in the first half, I think we got it locked up. I mean, the last few years, it hasn't even been a test, you know. We just lock it up, you know.
Well, we do, but it is Michigan, and you know, like you guys said, I mean, they've probably been working at it for most of the season.
I think that rivalries build like on years past, not like, you know, the last few years that, you know.
It's not much of a rivalry if you beat them every year.
We beat somebody down every
type
year.
thing.
Yeah, it's like us versus Pittsburgh. It is a huge rivalry, but you know, we beat them and they beat us, but you know.
You need to go to Columbus or Ann Arbor for a game then.
Yeah, this is the rivalry.
It really is.
This is probably one of the top 5 rivalries in all of sports, not just college football. But
and it keeps its luster every year, even if it's an easy game for one of the other teams. Well, for the Buckeyes,
yeah, the team.
But you know, it is interesting that this is the last time we may ever see them in this sort of game. And like you said, I mean, it's going to be different next year. We don't know what it's going to be like. Could be better, could be maybe not as cool.
Yeah.
It's always going to be Michigan OSU, but there's a lot of things that could be sort of up in the air or at stake this game. Rodriguez. Anybody think that he's coming back even if he was able to beat Ohio State?
No, absolutely not.
Michigan is a winning football organization. They want to win football games. They want to get back into the BCS, that top 10. They want to be back in that.
And I think a lot of times they call for the head coach's head, you know, but the players have to step up as well.
Yeah, somebody's got to go. They can't trade away their players.
Yeah. So let's just do a little special final score here.
I like it.
So I want to get kind of your quick synopsis of what you think we're going to see on Saturday, and maybe a final prediction as well. Ramon, what do you think?
I'm going to say Buckeyes 30, Michigan 21.
All right. What do you think, Dale?
I think it's going to be a shootout. Okay, and I think we're gonna blow them out. I think they might even cover that 17 points, only because I'm not bitch enough to put balls on blue. Won't do it. So my money will be on the Buckeyes, and I'm predicting a 47-31 victory. I see it. 47-31 Buckeyes. But I guess they won't cover.
No.
No.
So are you putting your money?
Yeah, I'll probably just watch that.
Yeah, let's just watch that game. All right. Brett, what do you think, man?
I like Ohio State's defense in this one. I think, granted, Michigan's got a lot. If we just keep Denard Robinson contained, Ohio State will pull it off. I'm going to say 41-21.
All right, you know, I'm kind of along the same lines. I really think that once we kind of get a little bit, I think it's going to be close in the beginning because Michigan's going to come out, Robinson's going to be running, we're going to have a hard time containing him, a hard time kind of keeping control of what's going on, but there's going to be a point where talent's going to take over. We got more talent than them. I think it's going to be good. I'm looking at like 45-31 and some points coming from Michigan in garbage time. So, in that case, do we make the spread with that? We do some quick math.
Nope.
No, we don't. We are not making the spread, except, Brett, you betting on the Buckeyes?
Maybe you want to bet on Michigan. I don't know.
I can't do it, man.
If either of you guys do.
I had to root for him last week. There's no way I'm betting on him. Yeah.
None of us put scores up. Do you want to like do the wave and do it all at the same time?
Let's do it.
All right, I'll start it off.
Get up. I'm doing that.
That was the slowest wave ever.
That wave.
Hey, what's up, all you GDB fans? Welcome to another episode of the Fantasy Factor, where we break down all news fantasy football related. We're going to talk about Week 11 and get you guys set up for Week 12. All right, first of all, let's take a look back at last week. We got our Fantasy Player of the Week. Okay, then we're going to give our award to Aaron Rodgers. 301 yards, 4 touchdowns. Now, I know Peyton Manning and Drew Brees also went off, but Aaron Rodgers was the only one who was perfect. 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and he got you just over that 300 yards to get you that bonus if you're in a league that scores it that way. He hit Greg Jennings 3 times. That's definitely a tandem I want on my squad, guys. Look for more of that coming up. Let's take a look at the surprise of the week. A guy who came out of nowhere and just blew the lid off of it out in Buffalo. That's right, Buffalo. They put up 49 points in offense. Steve Johnson, he grabbed 8 catches for 137 yards and 3 touchdowns. Out of nowhere. Fred Jackson looking good out there in Buffalo. He's a free agent in 70% of NFL.com leagues, so if you can, definitely pick him up. Last week, I want to take a second to apologize for that Troy Smith tip. I know. Definitely probably my Ohio State blood, but I don't know. Maybe Tampa Bay really is that good, but I don't think so. He's still the starter, but not fantasy worthy, that's for sure. Hey, we got a new segment, guys. It's called the Stock Watch, okay? I know the free agent pools are pretty much dried up, so instead of just shouting out some free agents, I'm just going to give you some guys whose stock is on the rise and a couple guys who are on the fall in case you're having a problem making that split decision on that roster spot, okay? So a couple guys who are on the rise. Mike Goodson, we talked about him a couple weeks ago out in Carolina. He's now put together back-to-back 100-yard games. Not really finding the end zone, but he's grabbing balls, and he's definitely worth a number 2 spot if you guys are that desperate. Wide receiver on the other side of Calvin Johnson in Detroit, guys, Nate Burleson. He was a star in Seattle. He battled through some injuries, but he's back. He's looking good. They're doubling CJ, so he's definitely got some open lanes. He caught 7 for 97 and a touchdown last week, and he's got 25 for 304 yards and 2 touchdowns in his last 4. Not stellar, but he's definitely worth a number 2 or 3 spot on your roster. And who else we got here on the rise? Brandon Pettigrew. I told you about him last week. Did you do it? Did you pick him up? Because if you did, you now have the leading receiver for all tight ends in NFL. 8 grabs. Definitely some good numbers from Brandon Pettigrew. All right, guys, some guys who are on the fall right now. It's time to cut the wire on these guys. Ryan Terrain out in Washington. Portis was back for like a quarter. Now he's injured again. It doesn't matter because they're going to be rolling with Kalen Williams. So you can cut the line on Ryan Terrain. Vince Young out in Tennessee. He might not even be in Tennessee anymore, so he's done for the year. You can definitely drop him. See you later, Vince. Let's get him on suicide watch. And finally, Brett Favre. The plane has crashed into the mountain. Brad Childress is out. Brett Favre, it's definitely over in Minnesota. I don't even think Sidney Rice can save number 4 for the rest of the season. You might even want to think about stashing Tavares Jackson because you never know when he can come in, and I think he's probably got some more upside than Brett Favre right now. He'll get his 300 games, but you probably don't want him starting on your fantasy league. So that's all I got for you guys this week. Don't forget you can check me out online, dst.com at GameDayBattle.com, dst at GameDayBattle.com. Good luck this week, guys. Hope you guys can get that W, lock up that playoff spot. We'll see you guys next week.